things to say and people.
He was a scary man.
Bottles to smash.
Yeah, the people were not feeling friendly when he was around. Let me give you that much of a tip.
No, certainly not. I do love me some Nuke, though. It's a deviation from our normie maps. No Mirage in play, and 1xBet understandably favouring the Pajama Ninjas. Hampus holding a tight line, and no smoke to guys their cross. So unless they peek in first with Maluki, could be a top pincer here with 2 lingering in the lobby. Oh, perfect flash for Hampus' position. He's lost them, and Maluki deletes. Need plopsky to connect. His bullets here a bit flustered, and yeah, call it done. They're into the site, and the headshots are hit. Simple as that, I suppose, Chad. That flash really did nullify any info NiP have.
Yeah, it was quick. He got a lot of space for free and then just pouncing on that device. We saw him looking crispy yesterday with the USP on Ancient. Had 4 kills, almost had the 5th. Bit of a heartbreaker on that one right there, but I don't think he'll be contesting this round. Just holding on to that Kevlar, seeing if he can get any heads of wandering TeamOne players. Giving him a bit more to go into the force bar that will be round number 2. Now, coming into this, I think the Des set the scene nicely. This is a should win for the Ninjas. For TeamOne, it's just about continuing to be a threat, and they have been. We had the little graphic up showing you just how close those games have been, and I'm sure they would love just to get a map.
Oh, dude,
just a map.
And especially considering how close they got twice. Mirage in particular against Gambit, looking back at it now, seeing Gambit claw back that 6-12
that was a great game last night.
Comeback with like a flawless CT side, right? On Mirage, TeamOne had like a close T half. If I'm not mistaken, it was like an 8-7 half. I may be exaggerating a little, but like the fact that TeamOne pushed a Gambit that can do that to Team Liquid, you know, these boys, they've been hanging with the big boys. It just hasn't quite converted, nearly pushing us to 3-night series yesterday.
Yeah, the close but no cigar cliche comes out too often, I think, with these lads in the service. Let's hope for something a little bit different today. NiP on the force by D-Gulls and Smokes. So they'll be using those in lieu of the Molotovs here to deny any early access for TeamOne. You can see a smoke towards ramp, a smoke towards Squeaky.
Any alarm bells ringing with the slight lack of utility, prioritizing 4 rifles as opposed to that double SMG?
I think they have enough if they want to go for a top pop, and that appears to be what they're setting up right here. So Hampus is having a looky-loo, and he can actually let them know that it will be ramp or a top hit.
Oh, my Malbs is in the electronic angle. That's very hard to clear. Very...
Oh, he looked away.
Still gets it. Okay, so Hampus is not going to get any information other than 1 silo. And if they do want to do this top pop, they've got the util as you'd outlined.
Yeah, plenty of mollies, right? 1 for CT Vant. They can drop one onto top heart. Always a good spot for a molly. Smoke towards main, a couple of flashes, and away we go.
Oh, nice closed door, but
yeah, you're dead, mate.
Device takes one with him. PRT caught out a little. Still walking into the 2-man stack.
I think they're all here.
On the dig, you're right, yeah. Plopsky's on site as well.
So it could get dicey now. 30 seconds. The conversation we were having before, starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. We've talked about it, and we'll return to that conversation after this commit. Rez just gets a free frag. No flash, no issue. Rez now caught out, but it's getting costly in Linus' Deagle. 2 threatening, 15 seconds. Maluki does have a chance, and it is hinging on a B bomb plant. Door slam shut, open plant. You better hurry your rotate up. Plopsky and Linus to come up clutch. Maluki with a loud sound cue and hunting for Plopsky here in the vents. Oh, he's just a little shy. A little shy of the mark indeed. NiP will convert, but Chad, let's return to that conversation. You planted the seeds in 2 series before. TeamOne have this tendency of, when they have just a slight advantage, pausing for an extended period of time. We saw it on their A takes.
Mirage A takes, you're right. Inferno Arch plays.
Inferno Arch plays where they got into CT and then paused for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I know from Chad Birchall's school of Counter-Strike, a pause isn't always a bad idea.
No, I just think here, the fact that they didn't have any info, right? They had no info, right? At least with the Arch play, you know that you're behind enemy lines.
You're where they started.
With the Mirage A ramp play, that you know that you can still return to that site. With this here, they didn't have any control. They just knew that Hampus pushed outside. They knew that Device was close vent. It actually worked out well for them in the beginning here, but that hesitation came back to haunt them in a big way, and 1-1.
Oh, yeah, now they're going to try and hit NiP with the same treatment. Deagles up against rifles. I don't fancy their chances. All those AKs have even fallen into enemy hands now.
Yeah, Linus and Plopsky on the receiving end of some goodies there, but top, we're out. Squeaky's open. The vent dropped into Hampus' hands.
Oh, and there
we'll
goes
take that.
All their armor and util.
Yeah, and the bomb.
Yeah, couldn't really have got much worse.
So now it's just a matter of corralling these last few lost sheep across the map. I really do like the look. There's been some great camera angles, I think. Like the frame shots in front of the face, like we have right now for malbs, for example.
Yeah.
Or if we can get the cam on the side. Oh, nice shot there from PRT. And you're getting a bit of monitor.
You mean like a device angle, the one we saw there?
Yeah, if it was like even a little bit more like on his shoulder.
Yeah,
like so we get a bit monitor, a bit of face. That would be sick. Like, I think that is maybe even a better angle than the one that's front on. Because the front on one, a lot of the time we only get forehead. I know when they're set up at LAN events, it's usually much better. But the side on, I think it gives you more context as a viewer.
Agreed. I mean, you can even see some of their screen. You can see kind of the swipes of their mouse a little more as well.
It's a bit, I know it's more streamer lifestyle, but...
yeah, I know. I tell you one thing. Maybe it's the boomer inside of me, but I just the mouse cams.
Yeah.
I look at it. I'm like, no one's looking at your hand, dude. No one cares. No one bloody cares.
I think that
unless
too.
You're tens.
Wait, yeah. I think that you're doing some crazy. Yeah.
If you're like a crazy zoomer with the wristy flicks, like Simple, I'd watch Simple's wrist move. But like, if you're not, just give us your face, mate.
Yeah, and the cat. Give us a cat cam instead.
I'd rather have a cat than a wrist cam. Hampus tries it again. He only had a deagle, so I suppose he's using that lighter equipment to take a couple more info plays. PRT's lining up for a flash into the top site.
Yeah, they just want to plant here.
Oh, yeah, but dude, I feel like NiP have woken up on the right side of bed today. Just as it looked like they were flirting with the flash, a smoke arrives on the door, and we continue to just rot time off that clock.
Yeah, when these flashes come in, it's going to be interesting to see if Rez gets blind in his position.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a pretty solid, like his face is almost pressed against the metal.
So it's going to, yeah, because if it goes off above his head, right, it's not going to fully blind him right here. So he might be all right. It just depends on the steepness. But this pace from TeamOne, I think they've been watching a lot of CIS Counter-Strike. There's the flash. That's the go. And you can see not blind, just complete vision here. So the flash is doing absolutely nothing. 3 swift ones. The bomb gets loose towards the squeaky door. And we'll call this the 3rd round now from NiP. So a great start from them. And this is a really good game for, I think, NiP just to kind of get rid of any of those worries.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, when they started this event, they did have the loss to a Liquid that is on form, right? I felt like a bit of a hater when I was doing my predictions for this group. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know about Liquid. I just got a feeling they're probably, you know, they're just going to fall flat. But they've shown up, and they have played some really competitive CS, and they've offered us 2 really good series to watch. The NiP one, I'd recommend go back watching that, just seeing Elysian fall and getting it done. And then last night against Gambit, if you go and have a look in that series, the clutches were won for Gambit 8-1 over those 3 maps.
Oh,
and when it was that close, exciting CS unfolds.
8-1. But yeah, it took Liquid to reawaken the Gambit beast. That's a lovely opener from malbs. And see if they can build upon it. He's hearing a couple of steps. Rez is responsible in mini. And oh, they're looking a little flustered on the gap. They will get across, loudly albeit.
No one's going to be able to help Hampus too quickly here.
He's got so much util. I wonder if he does wait or if he's just going to drop that incendiary when he's first feeling under pressure. They're going for a boost right now, trying to clear out those steps. They won't find anything. The question is if they go for the second boost into Hampus's angle. An incendiary would really ruin their fun there. Oh, and he's going looking. Oh, the timing on this. Hampus gets some shoulders and he gets another double. They get triple. Hampus locks them down, locks them out. malbs with a recovery of his own. What a shot out of him.
That's 3 for him in this round.
And it's going to be another 2 required if he wants the ace clutch.
40 seconds.
Oh, and he's knocked the head off of malbs. malbs is on a mad run, but Hampus is just as good. God damn, 4 for malbs, 4 for Hampus, but NiP leave with the round.
That off angle there that Hampus used was fantastic. But yeah, malbs did a lot of damage on his own here. The first kill onto the device, getting a little bit cheeky, and then just isolating all of those other jewels.
If you're the lower player, catching that timing just as they're about to try edge and clear that decon stairs, and you're just standing in their face and loading on the pre-fire, that was brutal. All it took was a little pointy elbow.
Yeah, well, Yanko was talking about how much of a menace Hampus can be towards Yard. He's just being a menace early right now. You know, we've seen that aggression. We've seen him lock them down with the passive play towards Secret. Now we're seeing him go for some more. Deagle spotted towards Yard. That info is going to be grazed. Device. I'm going to want to get caught off by another Deagle bullet, I'm sure.
Oh, and all it takes is a couple more clicks out of the Deags to be a threatening round. Device, very brave to be peeking, taking all those individual fights.
Well, he's hitting them.
Yeah.
He's not finishing them off here. So lucky Plopsky's around. There's a kill for Device. Linus chimes in from ramp, and more on his plate. So Maluki able to get this AUG. This round can still get interesting.
It can. He'd have loved a smoke. It's the HE instead, and a little bit of room to stretch his legs. He has got to, once again, contend with Rez. If he does just go for this plant, he might be caught out.
Hello?
No, is how Rez communicates. And we have 5 now to the Ninjas. Just the single one posted. malbs with the closest attempt in the gun rounds. We saw him doing it all. A single frag separating him from the full conversion.
I wonder if you're NiP, if you thought that they were going to pick Nuke today. Right? Because Mirage has been the map where it's gotten close and close again. And just to see them not pick it, they didn't get it in the map pool. Dust2 will be the third. So I think NiP are probably, I want to say happy, because I think Mirage is where TeamOne have definitely looked the most scary.
Yeah, they're trying something quick here. Trying something very quick through the mini room, and already the gap in the smoke is good for another Hampus double. How many multi-kills does the one man have? PRT has taken one for himself, a 1v1 established now with some quick shooting. It's him and Device. Locked in a 1v1, and as he averts his gaze, Device strikes down just as PRT called it clear in his head.
Oh, these poor guys.
That's another 1v1, Chad.
The malbs close scenario. This one here from PRT, almost with a heroic 1-on-4. Oh dear, you got to be thinking, keep the pressure on the economy right now. Go for another buy. A plant would have been great. You know, you really would have loved a plant out of this, but the damage done, not too shabby. And Device, he is not scared. He has a full belt of utility on right there. He's just walking out heaven, just going for the frag. So good stuff for NiP to convert these shaky rounds, but I'm sure they'd love to keep it a bit cleaner. Lurk smoke out. No limping down towards the vent here. Rez will deny his smoke. I think it landed exactly where he wanted, so the grey screen won't be tempted, but into main, PRT.
Yeah, this is cheeky. And Device won't have any info, be none the wiser, and he's lost his life. That's some entries from PRT. Comes into this round the way he left the other.
Might be a save here. I don't think NiP can contest around like this. I think they're already tucking tail and trying to get back towards spawn. Spotted now by PRT. Ooh. He wanted more, he got more. And it's just Linus, see you later. They might even come for him.
Statistically, how's PRT been hanging? I mean, we've seen some impact rounds out of him from TeamOne.
Not great.
Not great?
So the lowest rated individual in this group is Gary.
Ah.
The lowest rated player in this group is PRT.
Okay.
So good stuff out of him early.
That's what you want to be seeing. Yeah, exactly. And in pursuit of a new dawn on a new map. You haven't got Mirage. You have to start T-side Nuke.
Yikes.
Up against premium European Counter-Strike. Every dot is going to be on the I's, every cross on the T's. It's going to be a very standard and well thought out CT rotates. You're going to have to work hard if you want to be posting rounds, and they have, thanks to PRT. We'll see that again. 2 impactful rounds back-to-back. This time they actually convert. Good shooting out of him. This is some spray as well.
Yeah, good stuff. Handled it. I know he gets traded, but he did so much damage there. He won the round and he did financial damage going forward. Check out NiP now. They've been on the tail end of those rounds that were 1v1s.
True.
They can scrap the buy together, right? They can make it work, but look how light on util they are, right? And they lose this one, then they're bankrupt, and at that point, TeamOne can really start clawing back this scoreline.
Yeah, the team economy graph presented by Coinbase, you can actually just see that we are now at that breaking point. Now intersecting, they're back in control. TeamOne have an opportunity to truly catch and close the gap. But I mean, in a dream world, this is a clean T round. Let's see if they can manufacture anything close that resembles that. We do see Maluki's T-side orb. Now, options, Chad, it's a ramp peak, it's a lobby shots, it's maybe even brave towards Device.
Yeah, if he wants to get a bit excited, he can go into Squeaky and tempt the flames, right? It might just be used for a bit of map control, right? Ramp is on the docket early here, so smoked off and immediately denied, right? So you're going to see what you can get. If there's no smoke, we'll go for a peek. If there is a smoke, we'll call cancel. We'll just sit back for 20 seconds. We'll weigh up our options. We see what information comes our way. You don't want the orb going for the pick on the T side to be the key of the round. You still want to have a fallback plan and Device.
Yeah, it's brave.
Very brave here.
Now, I'm sure TeamOne have the Molotov in their wheelhouse. What a find! And converted in the nick of time. X&S did not have much longer.
Look at all this space. They have ramp. They have hell.
Very early into the piece. He has, however, been caught by Rez's crawl. returns control a little bit of stability returns to the fray. They're in ramp. They've slipped through, uncontested. PRT, the unknown entity, and he's been caught against a highly impactful defensive round out of Rez.
Might be a gap in this.
He hopes. Working on nothing there. But descending into the site in a 2v4 situation, malbs and Maluki, no better pair for the job. And with the bomb now down, they need to see a Maluki frag or a malbs before they can start dumping that Utah. They've got flashes to reposition, but you need frags, and there's one from Maluki Zorp. Unfortunately, he's lost malbs. If they slip through, he's going to lose this round. He doesn't get a chance to pull the trigger. Device goes wide on the angle, converts a 7th.
Wonderful stuff there. So 7 kills as well for Device in this one. And it's not looking great for TeamOne early, but early is the key, right? Right there, they're on the cusp of breaking the money. Well, the money, it's not going to bloat out of control right now. NiP still have to start keeping these rounds clean. So if they can string another together, make sure they're keeping a lot of players alive, at that point we can have the conversation where they can run away with this. But TeamOne is still in the position where they can really, really humble the Ninja CT side.
It looked like X&S kind of did not expect so aggressive in Yard. I mean, it's a pretty safe assumption to make when you've caught someone so aggressive, you've just jumped off a main roof, you've seen a flash player blue, you've killed him. It's a safe assumption to make. You've got like 10, 15 to work some magic and force some rotates.
Yeah, I think Rez takes that risk and pushes out a main behind because Device is in secret. Right? You know that you have your sniper overseeing Yard, so just in case, worst case scenario, he can shoot them and get the trade off of you. But letting him slip the net and potentially apply pressure heaven, that's when it goes, okay, so where are TeamOne going to finish? That kill forced them towards the lower side. So worked out quite well there for NiP.
Yeah, big plays out of Rez. And, oh, Pesadeo, I just noticed, still on the goose egg. We do need to see all 5 members of TeamOne firing if they want to challenge out the Ninjas. And already we've seen evidence that PRT's had his breakfast cereal. Maluki, malbs, everyone's here. X&S's Deeg has typically popped our heads as well as opponents. And Device back to the secret stairs. Typically a molly when you're walking behind these, the red container. High flashes is one thing. Molly, there it is. You can see PRT considering it, hasn't thrown it.
Idea,
there you go. And that will repel Device, gets himself set up on the secret stairs. PRT mission accomplished. He's living an electronic fantasy right now. All he has to do is survive. Got to think about this. Device trying to actively contest. He's done well to force the fights, but he's just lost his teammates. Oh, all of them. They collapse. The entire TeamOne squad gone. Absent. And PRT's been spotted as well.
Yeah, I think they just stuck to their guns of the call there, right? PRT felt like he had a good idea that there was an AWP in towards Secret. And the rotation's not going to be forced if Device is forward. Device will at least falter. The kill comes in. Hampus gets the final kill. But I think if the plan was, hey guys, let's put pressure Secret so we force a top rotation. The issue for them is Device was lower and he had the AWP. So unless Device got really pressured, they weren't going to need to rotate a second man. I think TeamOne were operating under the assumption that somebody else was in that neck of the woods.
Calling for help in their minds, right? Like we've seen how he likes to be that vent rotate as well, but Device this time was set up.
Yeah, so that just meant topside could stay strong during all of this. So they able to lock that one down. 8-2 the scoreline reads, and one more time we go. Looks like there's going to be a gap in the smokes here unless they throw one out on the fly. They will. Great grenade there. Look at that, right in the legs of 2, and there's still a gap in the smokes.
Yeah, there is. Hampus can contribute. Just got to time his spray well, and he has chunked 2 of them. PRT and malbs, the walking wounded. Opsky in a prime position just to poke his head up at the right time. Looks to strike as the tail end does go through.
He's kind of pinned, isn't he?
Yeah, he's actually got a lot of work to do. That's if his team doesn't beat him to it. They've got a little bit of control towards this lower site, and Pesadeo is the healthiest of the bunch. Perhaps he can claw them away in. He can see he's jiggling to contend with 1. How has he found that? Rez has gone down, and malbs is the one to step up. Doesn't matter of the low HP. He's pulled them 2 frags out of nowhere. Pesadeo to plant. LNZ can't. Maybe he can. Pushing in. Cost a lot of health, though. So Pesadeo, oh no. He goes down without a single word of concern. And malbs has to do it all. He can't do it. They ask so much of him. With low HP, he provides another 3. And still NiP prevail. 9 now on the board for them. This is a solid defense, and Linus closing it out. We'll see that one again. He gets a nice shot. It's this one that wins him the round, though. pesadeo just caught out. Slow crab walk into that left eye peak, and yeah, the barrel does book him.
Isn't it crazy, right? You see some of these fights, right? And you're sitting there going, look at the level of respect that these individuals get in Tier 1 Counter-Strike. Because if a player knows where you are, I'm sure in your pugs at home, someone's just swinging, someone's just fighting, right? You're getting so much respect here. But that's NiP course correcting, right? Things were looking close. It's another close round. It is another one-on-one, but the scoreline at this point, this is great for their CT half, right? Now we start getting into the realms of old school Nuke. If we're getting up in the 11s or 12s, that's what we always used to expect back in the day. Nuke has become one of these maps where the different smoke walls, keeping the CTs guessing, heavy reliance on utility and rotations. Right now, NiP, they're sweating. They're having to wipe that sweat off, but they've already got themselves enough rounds to be content with how this half will finish.
Oh, definitely content. And I think anything else considered a bonus. 5 AKs in play. No Maluki Orb this time around. And I mean, we like the PRT project. You know, we managed to keep Device guessing. This time he'd have to contend with Hampus if he does want to work with that. It looks like a late wall is being lined up. Bit of ramp util chips away at that prong. One way from Hampus here. It's going to get a bit glavy.
Oh, he's using it.
Yeah,
Does
he is.
Catch him?
Oh, it's a lovely gap. If PRT's patient, which he's demonstrated affinity for, he should be okay. That smoke is so suspicious. Like, as soon as it's up, tuck in.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving anything away here. So Hampus will have to drop now that it starts to fade. He can only really jiggle, right? He can't stay on the line too hard, but back towards ramp, and Device is here.
Ooh, that's the start. And if they can just humble this AWP, Device stands and delivers 2 in a big capacity. A trio of frags leaves TeamOne with only 2. Oh, broken, and now a flank as well. pesadeo adjusting to 1, not ready for the Plopsky crunch. And PRT, they know and suspect he was the one walking yard. He's got himself back to lobby at least. His team missing. Smoke is there, and he'd have to be walking through. Grey screen, just choose your angle and wait.
He could isolate this fight, you know, right? Like, there's a chance here because Plopsky's on his lonesome. Device and Hampus are watching the lower push or the hell push, so they're covering off other positions right now. Plopsky could get isolated, but PRT will have to be good. Not ready for the off angle there. Lucky to land a couple of bullets. That's handled, and that well handled, right? No concerns. Okay, where is this guy? No idea. What does he normally do? Lurks behind the outside smokes. Where could he be? Flanking us from hell, coming up through the lower site, or still from lobby. So all the bases covered there. Basic stuff from NiP, and it's looking good because TeamOne, well, they're back down to pistols. And I know that we've been selling you the story that all these games with TeamOne have been close. Well, maybe this one is the one that's going to break the rule.
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. It might buck the trend. I would take 5, and I'm sure they would too. It would require something crazy out of this Mac 10 and pistols, and that's the start.
That is a good start.
That's a great start. Now let's not stop. Let's not stop at all. Keep holding that W key. Or to pressure out that AWP, perhaps. That could be cool too. They're closing the gap. Device will be on a timer here.
Oh, they flood the smoke.
That's a nasty smoke.
If you just hit that little lip, right, that little red lip, the smoke stops.
Oh, the door swings open. XNS's Deeg fills the feed. Chad, there's something here.
Okay.
Malp goes looking for another fight. Hampus has had a good bit of damage inflicted. The Deagle's taken him down to 30. Device times this so well. And it looks like he could get another. Well handled. pesadeo jumping in to keep him honest.
Hampus shouldn't win this.
He shouldn't, and he doesn't. pesadeo recovers, and it's pistols breaking through the ramp hold that puts the 3rd for Team1.
Good stuff from pesadeo, right? We're just talking about his lack of impact before. Well, he's had 3 in that round. He's been able to find himself a good couple of frags there, and it's immediately put NiP's money in question. So the pressure just applied from Team1 time and time again in these rounds. The cracks have formed, and NiP, they have a choice of, do we just take a save for the final round of play, or do we go all in on this one and go all in on the next? I think it'll be the save. That's already reflected here by the buy.
Okay, whatever you do, Team1, let's not trip over your own Velcros.
They already did, remember?
Yeah.
They're already walking around in one shoe. That's kind of how this whole problem started.
So you know the flashy shoes you used to have as a kid, the cool, the ones that would like light up.
Yeah.
Did they have? They must have had batteries in them, right? We never had to change our batteries, did we?
Well, we never had to do anything. We were children.
But were we running around with battery-operated shoes?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Alex, there has to be a power source.
Yeah, just a small, probably just like a watch battery
Like
or
those
something.
little jibbly wibblies, the
Yeah,
little circle
you got
ones.
your garage remote. Or
Has anyone ever changed a shoe's battery? That's all I'm asking.
if you're a cobbler,
Do we just... it's a cobbler. It's a job for a cobbler. A
You
jobbler.
reckon?
Yeah, it's a job.
a modern day cobbler.
They exist.
Okay.
I've seen it. Never mind. Just the sound of the keys being cut.
Yes.
Very familiar. Very familiar. Pesideo's having a go. It is only unarmored deagles, so we would expect this to be done. Thank you, Maluki. That's the no-scope necessary. They have the top site. Hampers could cause chaos here if they're not expecting it.
Oh,
And I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
Not
He's
on
on
the
the
ladder.
ladder, does tag him up, doesn't opt to commit, and so I can calm down.
So here for TeamOne, when you're down in such a hole, right, they're just assuming that NiP probably had enough money to go for some form of a buy. So they've just gone with a classic top pop, right? It's something that is a bit risky when you go through the smokes. You saw the initial exchange and how it could have gotten out of control, but handled.
Yeah, and when you're doing top pop, especially when Plopsky and Linus have both early into this half proven that if you run out of hut without good util, we're just going to kill you.
Yeah.
Rez did as well from his hut position. You know, like I think those opening rounds for TeamOne, it's a stark reminder of how limp those top pops can feel when not properly utilized.
Yeah, it sucks, right? Because when you're hitting that top side, especially if you're coming out hut, you're coming out squeaky as well, your util is to try and negate certain positions. A top a hut molly, or a Mustang molly, or the flash. Like, utility has a purpose, right? And then if you come out and you die to the one place that you knew you left open, that's the most frustrating thing, because that's where you're meant to have your... That's where you're meant to be able to trade.
On,
yeah, exactly.
That's what
Process of elimination.
Process of eliminated too.
11-4. I'm sure NiP will be gunning for that. Device back down towards Secret with the AWP. Let's see if he can stop PRT's crawl. And PRT just through the smoke. You'd love to see it.
This would be a lot, though. I mean, he's trying to contend with Device. The mollies should be good enough to stop the slip.
It's a little bit shallow, though.
Yeah, he can't peek over it. At least keeps him humble. Linus, after being drive-by the Mac-10, will play a incendiary defense.
Yeah, that gives up so much room. And look what PRT has as well. He can rumble this right now.
Oh, he's hearing pins pulled as well. T-side venting, knows one squeaky side. His team knocking on the ramp door. Timing is everything here. And Rez, did he shoot his teammate? But it baits him in. It actually works. I hate it. He accidentally baits in PRT.
The thing is, right now, they could still go around towards heaven. Going towards lower. Oh, Linus.
Yeah, this is really brave. He's trying to catch someone, and he has. Goes evenly. And that might spiral into a low sight attack. Util check, it's light, it's only flashes. And Device just doesn't seem to be missing much. And 2 into the feed. Feeding him indeed. Oh, and finally Pesideo claws one back for TeamOne. They got 30 seconds and 1 close. Rez on the walk. Pesideo, crosshairs in the wrong place. Does adjust nicely. Looking to shape up, but running in with his knife out. Plopsky, the element of surprise, and there wraps up the half. NiP prime position to collect themselves the final 5. We swap in sides. NiP to attack to finish off Nuke.
Future Pros, Nuke is one of my favorite maps. So today I'll show you a powerful fast A flash Glaive often throws for Astralis. This flash works wonders for a hut rush. Communicate to your team you have a god flash and politely ask them to rush hut.
Rocky ballad.
It's not even a ballad, it's more of just kind of a moshy ballad.
A moshy ballad.
I'd say.
I don't mind the tunes. I still wonder where Sarah is.
Sarah.
Can we get Sarah in the next break?
Hasn't she been, you know, lost forever? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd love to have a bit more Sarah tone in my veins.
If we get Sarah back, we'll take her.
We'll always take her back, Chad.
Twitch chat will too. I know they're sad she left with the kids, but forgiveness. As TeamOne are looking for a little bit of that here on the CT side, and the P250. I think it has other...
This strategy before. you put a P250 on simple and go up yard. And
Okay.
Chad Birchall's School of Counter-Strike has employed it before as well. It hasn't translated directly into the win. Device, however, with 2 from his P250, has done mission yard to its absolute best. He's starting to poke the top site, and you can see that Device's presence alone has pulled malbs out of position. Maluki has spotted him, and Device continues to confirm CT locations. One Hell looking for him, one Secret Stairs looking for him. X and S. Oh, a bouncy T, and Plopsky does knock his head off. Oh, malbs short-lived as well. Falling apart now for Maluki, and Device to finish the job. He started it well, and it's Rez to finish.
Unlucky Maluki right there. Could have got the kill in the back of Device, and could have been an all right round for TeamOne, but it's now shaping up to be a pretty bleak outlook. The 4 spy will be their final chance here to really put up too much concern. Here are these lovely little taparoonies. Bosch. And a pop goes the Weasel. So a bit of a combination there of frags for
A
Device.
Bosch and a pop goes the Weasel.
Yeah, they're different types of kills.
Certainly.
Yeah, the Bosch was like, oh, like he had the bish, the bash, and then the Bosch.
That
And then
was
the
the
pop
Bosch.
goes the Weasel. Well, obviously.
Well, the Weasel was pop.
Yeah, and you can only pop one Weasel.
Certainly. Maluki has managed to throw a bullet down range successfully. It's left Hampus limping, and Pesadeo unfortunately spotted out. NiP not going to let you sneak. Sans smoke.
Luki could get a couple more tags here, right? He almost feels mandatory at this stage if they want to keep this threatening here. Yeah, look, the smokes are faded. He gets a couple more pot shots, and Maluki's pretty damn good with the scoped weaponry. Well, seems like no dramas. Just going to...
Device go kill.
Yeah, 20 kills for Device now. And I think the thing is, maybe Device is a pretty good player.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting that from.
I think he might be worth, like, I don't know, a super large buyout.
I think so. I like the way Yanko put it the other day when he was talking about Device. He's like the most accomplished in Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
He's one of the most accomplished individuals.
He is.
Right, it's like him and 2 other blokes.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good club.
Yeah, it's a very exclusive one, and Device is at the top of the scoreboard, sailing with NiP to a very quick close to our first map of our first game of the day. TeamOne's pick, and already 13 to the good, coming into an eco from TeamOne. I mean, it spells one thing and one thing only, and that's a Ninja's dub.
They have certainly got the USP here. Let's see. He's got a lot of space. He's hearing a symphony of pistols.
Ting, ting, ting.
But the kills are coming in elsewhere, so it is not going to get interesting. Even if Hampus goes down, he just loses a USP. It's not the end of the world. They were just sending him fishing regardless. That ding's not too bad, though. Might need a couple more of those. They've lost map control. The bomb still needs to be scooped up. Linus and Plopsky, with a lot of utility, can start walking on down the ramp and securing themselves the lower bomb site. But they're in no rush. Pasadeo going for a lobby peek. He's going to be flanking around Device in a second here. Let's see how aware Device is.
Ooh, he gets the info. Pesadeo, just a little unfortunate on the timing there.
Now, guys, I don't want you to stop watching the broadcast. Definitely keep watching the broadcast. But I want to give you something to do in the interim if this is a quick 2-0, because the next series doesn't start until 4:45. Now, Elige, he released a video on his YouTube after their game against NiP just the other night. He did it. It was like a 24-hour turnaround. He has a video out on his YouTube channel with the voice comms.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So if you want to go and see how they do it and the conversations that are had while they're doing it, I would recommend heading over to Elige's YouTube channel once the series concludes, because it feels like this might be a quick opening game.
Quick game's a good game, they used to say.
Yeah, they definitely did.
But I would agree that this one doesn't look like it's got much left in it. Certainly not on Nuke. Perhaps we've got
Overpass, maybe?
Overpass, some sort of surprises. TeamOne haven't got to see TeamOne's Overpass yet.
This is very quick here. A little bit of a gap, I think, we'll be working with right now for TeamOne to exploit. Hampus will be aware. He will have heard that extinguish, the molly unraveling their plans. And it might just be the slightest of gaps here. There you go. Oh!
What was that out of malbs?
2 bullets as well.
Yeah, 2 bulleted. Just a little railgun.
That's beautiful. That's a really great opener here for TeamOne. And considering all the utility that NiP just put towards Yard and was denied, they will need to find a frag back. I don't think I want to go near malbs, actually.
He does just seem like the real hottest prospect out of TeamOne so far. Like, I mean, he just seems to be capable of finding frags when no one else can.
Heard Fury, I need a 5th.
That's true, yeah. Drops, quaking in his boots. malbs is nuts. Thoroughly enjoyed watching him thrive in this environment. It's not for the first time either. PRT. First real test of the squeaky door position. plopsky's no slouch, so it is about timing on these jiggles. He's got a chance and a perfect execution. He's got the bomb on his side, and he wants more. Walks in, tucks in, bombs in front of him, and PRT, he's been Molotov'd out. His brief position cost him his life, and if Hampus can work his magic on this, he's been spotted out prior to contributing. And yeah, this should be the end of it. malbs just with more. And TeamOne put their first defensive round on the board.
Okay, well, it was a great round, but kicked off really with that. I think there's two parts to that. The first being that they denied the smoke wall, right? So there's no clarity there from NiP. Can they see if we've crossed, right? They're guessing, and they don't want to take that risk to find out. And this, just 2 bullets. That's beautiful. That is beautiful stuff right there. I think as well, the timing on this one here, you'll see the smoke just starting to land, and that's forced plopsky to go for that fight. So well-timed peek there from PRT. And the guns will come back out for NiP. Let's see if they're as hasty about getting that smoke wall down this time round. They are lining up the nades here. Hampus, the smoke over towards heaven.
Yeah, it could be a big top. At least it feels like it. Let's see how the CTs react, and accordingly, PRT's just been Molotov'd out. Didn't really get much of a chance there. Gobbles up a flash after the flames force him into the open, and another body's already dropped. TeamOne, very short-lived celebrations. Of course, it's malbs that makes this threatening. He's got to clear that angle as well. He's so aware, so alert, and he's pulled his team back into a viable retake here. Device looks the wrong way. Maluki can strike. TeamOne set for a go here. Even Linus is low here, and more from malbs. I can't quite believe he's doing it all. Linus with 6 HP. malbs is going to swing in first. X and Esther trade, and just enough time for the retake. I don't know where they found him, but malbs is worth his weight in gold.
That was great. The awareness there on that clear was fantastic.
The Hampus clear,
yeah,
madness.
That was wild. It felt like Hampus should have had him dead to rights right there. So NiP maybe getting a step or two ahead of themselves here. TeamOne keep it in contention for this. Now, the scoreline's still quite dire, but if they continue to put pain down range like this, might have a couple of problems here. You're getting the molly up on Mustang, you get the bomb box molly, the heaven smoke, the flashes are in. This timing here was not ideal for old boy Device. And Linus giving it a good go, right? On that low HP, takes 2 with him.
Yeah, not far off on the last. He just needs that 1 bullet headshot. Esadeo aggressive. He will be cleared.
They know.
Plopsky looked away at the wrong time. Rez keeps it honest. And one's already slipped down. This AWP from Maluki has to be good for 1 here. Device trying to play the smoke. He has mantled up. Maluki aware. But Hampus is so deep down there. I want to make sure we address that early. He's already slipped down and will be working on some degree of flank. He hasn't got the bomb. But Maluki's dealt with Rez already. Now, there is a sound cue required.
Yeah, there's some really big issues here. With Device stranded right now, Hampus and that of Linus need to be able to battle their way out of this bomb site or draw a gap to let Device slip on down. malbs is the one tasked with holding that here, and at any point, if Device is spotted, they'll know where the bomb is and they could react accordingly. The window, I think, just legit saved his life.
You think from the ding?
I think the window just saved his life. It reduced the damage that much that he lived.
Yeah, it was nice. Triple pane.
That's crazy.
But bullet resistant. Not bulletproof, but bullet resistant. Device, last man alive. Every bullet out of his M4 was finding the mark there, but malbs too good. 22 for malbs in the face of a rather stark defeat.
Yeah, well, look, he's got Device on the other side of things with 24. So right now, they're the titans of this matchup. You've got 17 kills on plopsky. Good to see him carrying that Dust 2 form through to today. And look, Maluki's able to find a bit of impact in this round, but he was only on 8 kills when this one started, right? So if he can really get going now, find that CT-sided AWP impact like he did on Inferno, TeamOne might have a few more rounds in the bag here.
This is
aggressive.
Yeah, Hut aggressive on the AWP. blobsMd's shoulder is enough. And Maluki spots more. He's ready and brave. He wants more frags. Continues to contest this lobby position. Hampus is going to swing straight into the Maluki AWP. And just as you called upon him, Chad, he delivers with some flair. A lobby push. They continue to force the issue, and why not? There's only one man left, and it's Rez. On the reload, Maluki will post up, and Rez would have to hit the perfect pre-fire. That's all Maluki, 4 in total. And climbing up the leaderboard right there.
Oh, a bit of a cheeky smile on his face there as well. Huge round for him. Want to even get the conversation going for TeamOne now. You can see just taking the ball by the horns here, just pushing straight into Hut. It's a massive risk, right? He goes down.
Yeah, the re-peek into Linus, like that takes balls. I was expecting him to get the one and be done with it, but you know, proficient AWPers, when they get that information as they're pulling away, the temptation is there and he takes it.
I think right now it's just a matter of NiP calming and cooling themselves down, because these rounds have happened very quickly, right? So this T-half, they kick it off, they win the pistol, they get the conversions, they're sitting pretty, they're just sailing to it. You know, a moment or two of, I want to say lax judgment, or maybe you're not focused, right? malbs gets a double kill and they retake the top side that they should never have been in. So it shows you just how quickly things can spiral out of control. But NiP should be taking a save, and you can see that now with the timeouts. Threat probably like, all right, boys, let's just take some time, have a little bit of a think, chipping on in, some conversations. There's smiles on faces. There's grins around the room, so I think that they know they shouldn't be far away. There's a lot of smiles actually here, so really good mood it looks like in the NiP camp right now. I want to know what Visor Guy used to do for a living. I reckon Visor Guy, right, he was probably like he was a surfer once upon a time. Maybe he was a yoga instructor. He's walking around in sandals and a visor. He looked like my sports teacher, Mr. Jaeger.
I'll be honest, I don't have much experience with Visor Guys. I guess it's more of an Australian thing.
Visor Guy? You don't know you know, not many people are wearing visors.
I'm starting to understand the tropes associated with Visor Guy.
He definitely, he likes the sea.
Right.
He likes to swim.
As a Swede?
Oh yeah, they love it.
They do?
Look how tan the Swedes are.
In their 2 hours of sunlight every summer?
Just because we only see the gamer Swedes, I tell you, they're like the Danes.
Ah, yeah, okay.
The Danes are tanned.
That's true. I've seen what they do in the Copenhagen, like, what is it, a river?
Yes.
Looks like a lot of fun. I've seen Launder's stories. Run away. malbs has got a whole team ahead of him. And just as the perfect timing, Maluki arrives in the ramp. He's lost his life and his AWP. blobsMd just completely betrays the smoke. Straight through, and does make a little bit of space for this squad. Hampus is going to be the unknown entity posted up on red and hoping to catch a CT, transitioning to help that ramp pressure. He seems to have a good idea as to where Pesadeo is holding. Oh, and the tracking is just phenomenal from Hampus. malbs struggling with his 30 HP, he's toying with him. blobsMd swings wide, and this one is falling apart at the seams. Yeah, Listerine face in full effect.
blobsMd's on his own right now. Exodus could just isolate this fight if he's quick about it. Oh, he's lost him now. And he's noisy about it, so all the information resides with NiP. This is not the way, if you're a TeamOne fan, you'd want to see NiP getting to their 15th. This one feels stolen away from them.
And all malbs can say is, they came ramp and I only got 2.
Did more than my job, sorry guys.
Soz. Yeah, that's a tough one to lose there. That's a bitter one. It's like you're taking a big, chunky bite out of a lemon and pose for a school photo straight after.
It's not great. And also, I want to resubmit my answer. I would say what they're swimming in Copenhagen would not be a river. It would be the sea.
The sea. Yes, of course it is. Because the whole thing, the big bridge we drive over, Denmark, Sweden.
Yeah. I think it's the sea.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe there's boats involved. I didn't take more than a passing glance. Yeah, that's...
The thing is, he like delayed.
Like, what more can you ask of him?
I don't know.
Like, and we know his death. That was when he was dancing with blobsMd. Just got eventually wide swung. Doors open, and it looks like Device's door is slammed shut. Maluki responsible.
And aggressive.
Changes his setup and a deep smoke into lobby. That will keep the NiP boys busy.
Don't mind that at all, right? They're going to have to spam through. They're going to have to flash to clear and Hampus. Well, the fact that he's going to find himself now back behind the red box, I think he wants to help this lobby.
SNS lays his life on the line to take one with him. I mean, They are still pushing. Part of me would be fine with them just be taking the advantage while they have it.
malbs is even trying to spam the railing.
Oh my goodness. Who's accounting for main? They've got PRT and Pesadeo in heaven, and there's the frag required. Looking to extend play. 2 frags separating them from it, and Rez has done very well to PRT.
Oh!
plobsMd out-orps the AWPer with his AK.
That felt like a guarantee.
Yeah, I thought he'd have that all day of the week. Maybe there are still a little bit of potential for NiP to finish it here in round 24. Rez planting, plobsMd checking. He knows where you are, malbs. Good for the fight. Rez to reposition, Pesadeo to catch him, and it does just iron out onto plobsMd. Asked to clutch. He doesn't really have the bullets for this, and nice work from malbs. Patient on the retake. He says play on.
Yeah, I think that was their round to win, right? I think the aggressive maneuver early, the opening kill, did look like it got a bit spicier there towards the tail end, but getting it done, Team1, they'll maintain the AWP, they'll get the AK back on the board, they'll keep this game chugging along, and they're now getting into the territory of a respectable scoreline, right? There was also a missed, see the smoke here? It was destined for main. The problem was, I think when plobsMd threw it, it hit his teammate in the bottom, so it didn't quite make it to its destination. Definitely not a plane I want to be on. I want my planes to make it to their destination.
At all times.
At all times.
Preferably.
I don't want any emergency stops.
No turning around. We're off to Frankfurt.
None of that.
And Hampus this time. Pesadeo with an aggressive maneuver, and they don't have info on what's behind that wall.
Well, they're testing malbs at ramp. You really want to go into the kids' domain. 115 ADR, 25 frags. You know, he seems like he's good for 2, round in, round out.
And he's willing to stand in angles like this. Full commit to a spray and bit walked on. malbs has got nothing. It's up to Pesadeo and some sharp shooting. Sets his team up for success. Maluki will go wide. He'll give you what you desire, and it is another round for Team1.
We got a game.
We got a game.
10. Yeah, look. It still doesn't feel like it's Team1's to take it to overtime, because if you've been watching, guys, this team loses in the most heartbreaking of fashions.
No, I don't want them to get 14 and then lose again, Chad. I'd rather they just get 69.
Okay, would you rather they lose right now to a CZ, 2 MAC-10s,
no,
a
that's
P250?
Worse. That's worse.
Okay, well, that is what they could be losing to.
Okay, fine. Okay, so they need this one. They've even whipped out a little MP9, little bonus action from XNS, looking to farm up. Using it to exploit perhaps with a bit more of an aggressive maneuver. An aggressive maneuver is exactly what Maluki's pulled out.
Rez just obliges. I think he's just on the jiggle. Okay, doors open. Let me check.
Oh, he even hit that jumping plobsMd, and it has fallen flat, unable to retreat. An AWP finds itself idle on the floor.
Okay, now deep breath, Team1. Still have the advantage here. plobsMd being low. The molly will tickle on down. That.
No one's got info yards, so poor old PRT's trying to play hut without knowing about main. And Hampus will eventually arrive there. Yeah, he's changing his position now. Makes sense. Wall of smoke's deployed by NiP. Hampus to start his crawl.
That's just to draw the rotation. You can see the way that they did that. Hampus threw his smoke from the top of main, and Device threw his passively. So that's just to force someone towards lower to make this top site more susceptible. I think they will go for a top pop here, so keep your eyes on the util.
PRT to be tested here. They're coming into his domain, and he does deliver exactly what required. Pesadeo to find the final. It is just Device. That CZ's not bad for some damage, but there you have it. 11 for Team1. They passed the test of the armored pistols. Get another full NiP buy, but the gap now closing. Team1 posting a solid haul of CT rounds over the course of this last run.
It's kind of annoying to have Maluki, aggressive, squeaky, or hut, right? So if I'm NiP right now, I'm thinking, I don't want the AWPer to be getting away with that. What can we do, right? Well, on fast top, he would be in transition to going either to hut or squeaky, right? If you want to really hit the accelerator button right now, but he's actually taken the AWP over towards ramp, and it looks like NiP are going to give outside another chance. Hampus already down to 50.
Maluki might be down there to at least challenge out that secret player. Oh, so close.
One more bullet.
So close to finishing off Hampus's cross, and he's super far ahead of the pack. And a miss from
Wide
Maluki.
swing.
Yeah, very wide. Gets the info early. They know they've got the AWP to contend with down there. Oh, more damage. Oh, Pesadeo, he has done more than you could have asked. But unfortunately, nothing lethal, and that does give NiP a couple of options they're starting to juggle with. They've got full yard control, almost in CT spawn at this point. malbs, the ramp player, has to contend with an entire unknown position of the map, whether they're above him, which they are. They're wide of the red box. God, malbs' angle management, he's going to have to play this safe.
Yeah, there's an army coming his way, right? And the problem is he has to worry about ramp as well. So a few issues. Even though XNS has been able to get up onto the roof, there's still always a chance that somebody could be sneaking through that lobby position.
He is going to continue to clear, and oh, PRT has lost his life in the top site. malbs, patience on him. Oh, nearly! Device.
So low.
Tagged down.
So low.
XNS has done well to catch the Hampus yard. Okay, hoping to bait with the steps. The adjustment from Plobsky's not quite quick enough. One spotted Heaven,
the walking
and
wounded.
the other planted. Nade doesn't quite hit the mark. They're both now isolated on the side. These flashes are their last-ditch attempt. A bit of a team flash for Damn. Device good for one. XNS down low, as is Rez. The next bullet connecting. Oh, Damn. So damn close. 10 HP in it. The Ninjas will convert, and TeamOne's Nuke falls flat.